Session is by Dr. P. SHANMUGAM sir. Dr. P. SHANMUGAM sir is the Chief Scientist Group Leader for Environmental Engineering and Sciences at CSIR, Central Weather Research Institute, Chennai. Dr. SHANMUGAM sir completed his PhD through Commonwealth Fellowship in Civil or Environmental Engineering at Leeds University, UK. He has received ex-President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Memorial Best Scientist Award 2027 from the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu on Independence Day. Dr. Shanmugam sir has also received the Peter Wilson Award by British Nuclear Fuels Limited and Leeds University 2009 and is UNDP or GEF Fellowship. So now I request Deputy Director Dr. M. Gulam Nabi Alsad sir to felicitate Dr. P. Shanmugam sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Very good morning indeed to all of you. It's been a pleasure for me to address young and journal minds of the researchers you are going to be in the future. Actually, you have come into the gateway of research. I've been doing this course very passionately for a quite long time, as I wanted to inculcate a kind of research aspirations to the young minds of the researchers in India. Since ever, I completed my PhD from University of Leeds in England, and I came back. Since then, I've been doing this course very meticulously for the benefit of PhD students. Why? Because when I was in Leeds University, when I went first day to register for my PhD, in the research degrees office, it was written, PhD should be taken by the merit of the scholar, not to be given by the mercy of the supervisor. I like the word very much. PhD should be taken by the merit of the scholar, not to be given by the mercy of the supervisor. So, you mean to develop your own concept of research papers, at least minimum 3 papers, publish it, and go honestly back to your supervisor. Can I take my PhD? I've demonstrated my research in terms of publications. So you don't have to bow. You don't have to have a fear. You don't have to have a doubt on your mind whether you will get your PhD or not. Because your PhD thesis has very well demonstrated, reviewed by reputed reviewers internationally. Therefore, your guide will always admit, yes, you can write and submit your PhD thesis. If you publish minimum 3 papers in 3 years, and you can take your PhD instead of getting it as a merciful PhD. So therefore, young students, it is all your time. You need to decide by yourself, now itself. Plan now itself. Plan for your PhD now itself. How? You will not have a mental agony. You will not have a failures. You will not have jobless opportunities. Sir, I have completed my PhD. I don't get a job. And my fellow friends who did my master degree, I have joined in somewhere as a faculty. And they are also getting 30,000. After my PhD, I am also getting 30,000. So my value of my PhD degree for 5 years, 4 years has not been improved. I felt ashamed of it like that. You should not feel after your PhD, for which you should plan now itself how your PhD degree will have a value on your name, will have a commercial value on your name, will have a high impact factored value on your name, and that will get you a value added scientist, a value added researcher. And that's the reason I've been taking this course since ever I returned back. Students, when you finish, it's a striving work you are going to do. Some of you leaving your children, leaving your parents, leaving everybody. But what is the end result going to be after your PhD? How much of the value addition you are going to make on your personality? So, plan well seriously. That is the reason, unlike the previous year, this year I've chosen the topic to confirm PPT, to confirm, come back to PPT, to confirm pointer எங்க இருக்கு இதுல pointer இது pointer இல்லையா okay okay so to confirm technology readiness level, you should do PhD for a technology readiness level. And why you should do PhD for a technology readiness level? To start up your own company. You become an entrepreneur after your PhD. You become a businessman after your PhD based on the outcome of your PhD. You start a startup company, incubation company, startup company after your PhD, in which you'll become a millionaire just by doing a PhD degree. You might ask me a question, sir, is that possible? Can I be an entrepreneur just after my PhD? Yes, it is possible. If you make your outcome of your research to create an impactful outcome on the industries, on the municipalities, on the societies, on the finance and economics, on the business and management, and the humanities and social science. If you really could strive your research for a period of 3 to 4 years, and then you come out with a successful outcome, there has to be a two difference between outcome and output. When you say output, it is the publications, patent, and so on. If you say outcome, what is that you are going to apply? What is that it leads to? That's called outcome. So when you say outcome, your outcome of the research is going to define who you are. Are you a businessman? Are you a scientist? Are you a basic researcher? That is why I included a concept called your finding the non-plagiaristic research gap. Make it a non-plagiaristic research gap. To proving the research hypothesis for a best technology readiness level. Sir, what is technology readiness level? I will explain to you. And my systemic practice of teaching, I've been teaching for master students as well as undergraduate students in Center for Environmental Studies for quite a long time in CES. Besides my scientific profession for the past 33 years, I've been a scientist for the past 33 years. I enjoy the field of scientists, but still I would like to teach for the young minds. And I've been teaching in Anna University CES. Every class when I enter, and the next class when I go, I'll be having a take-home message from the previous class. And the take-home message normally starts with the row 1, second, third, fourth, fifth, like that. So it goes like this. But no message will be repeated. First message cannot be repeated by the last person. First message cannot be repeated by the second person. Second message, the 10th message cannot be repeated by the 20th person. That is the way of my teaching. Before 10 minutes, because I rush up also, I don't give time. I'll say, if you don't know, you just please pass it on. So I rush up also, how I tune your mind to think what has been taught in the previous class, by which the previous entire subject I taught, I brought into the present scenario. Then you can go for it to have a continuity in what you are going to teach on the next day. And today also, I'm going to have the same practice. of taking the take-home message of my first session and second session. I'll be having two sessions, one exactly at 12:45, and possibly after 12:45 I'll go for a second session, and with a short break of 5 minutes. So in that time, I'll be asking you a take-home message. What has been taught in these 45 minutes or 1 hour? Everybody must have a message, one message. You must listen and see that what is the message. They have already said that message or not. You cannot repeat it. So please bear in mind, this is the kind of my teaching practice I used to have, by which when I come to the last person, everything what has been taught will be recollected. And this is the reason I also say you will increase your retention potential of what you study. Sir, how do I increase my retention potential of what I study? You read a lot of literatures. You read plenty of information you read. But how much you remember? How much you remember to carry forward your message? Carry forward your research. That is what is called retention potential. So in your wake of research life, you must increase the megabyte of your memory, megabyte of your brain, by keeping a constant interest on what you learned. And that's why shortly I'm going to define you what is called the concept of research. What is research? Recognize, view, review, search, research, promotion, re-promotion, promotion, de-promotion, search, research. So search again and again and again. You search something, you count it as a conclusion, you give it as an output or an outcome, and your student will follow that outcome and continue his research from where you left. And your grand student, means your student, will do the same research followed by your student, and by which research is going on. It is not a de-search. So therefore, the definition of search is research. So research is a non-obvious, non-duplicated, but replicable and reproducible research. Please bear in mind, non-duplicated, but replicable and reproducible outcome. Original, well evidenced, well documented. The addition of new knowledge to the existing knowledge domain, and this knowledge should be able to be researched by someone else, to conceptualize, to hypothesize, and to prove another new knowledge that should be searched by your grand student. So you read literatures of 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, 40-year. You might be able to read third generation of your researcher, of your own field. So that is why the research that you are going to continue should be able to be researched by somebody else also. There should not be any stop in between, because there is no field completely gets stopped. So your research outcome should be reproducible, should be researchable, and that is what. So research, search, and finally research for the inventions, not only for the publications and promotions and projections, but to solve the societal and industrial crisis by which you get your own identity. So you are appreciated when you become a need-based, value-added researcher or a teacher. Need-based, value-added researcher or a teacher. So what is called, how do you process in the education system? So there are 4 important psychological behavior you must generate, which is Parthal, Unardal, Aridal, Vilakudal, are the process of learning. See properly. Focus to eye attention. See properly. Unardal, feel about it, sense it. And Aridal, understand what you have felt, and good or bad for high critics. And Vilakudal, you should be able to demonstrate. Sir, I read it. I've seen it. He has demonstrated me, but I could not understand anything. The reason would have been either you would have been a very slow listener, or you would have been a slow absorber, or you would have been a very dull, not to understand what he said. So, if you want to increase your understanding and demonstration ability, you must be following these 4 qualities of a research. So, then you can develop your habit of shrewd enough, sharp enough, fast enough, and perfect enough. Shrewd enough, sharp enough, fast enough, and perfect enough. That a kind of dynamism you will achieve. So, knowledge is the accumulation of thought. Thoughts are the accumulation of imagination. Imagination are the accumulation of understanding. Understanding are the accumulation of learning. And through effective reading and studying ability. Through effective reading and studying ability. I will ask you a simple question. What do you understand by reading, studying, and learning? What is the difference? Okay, you are here today for learning, studying, or reading. Learning? How do you say? Okay. What is the simple definition for learning? Practicing. Good. Anybody else? Sir, car driving is a learning. Am I right? Car driving is studying or learning? Learning. So once you learn car driving, will you forget? Swimming is a learning or studying? Learning. If you learn swimming, will you forget in life? So now, if we asked some students about how to relate Henry's law in oximeter of the corona duration, measuring oxygen in the human body. Sir, Henry's law, its application, measuring oxygen level in the blood by oximeter. Can anybody relate it? In other ways, I will ask. You can say any law, Einstein's law, Ohm's law, Dalton's law, Boyle's law, spectrophotometric, Beer-Lambert's law, any law, and relate to its application. Can anybody come up? Sir, I know this law and its application. Brownian motion, Stokes law, any law. Can anybody come out? Because this all you studied in your plus 2 level, studied in thing. You failed to understand its application. But you may not remember those law, Henry's law. You may not remember. But at the same time, 10 years before or 15 years before, you will be, whatever the movie you have seen, you will be able to remember the songs of the movie. I'm damn sure. 10 years before, 15 years before, you will be able to remember the songs of the movie. Why we are able to remember the songs of the movie and why we are not able to remember the application of Einstein's law, Stokes' law, Brownian motion, Dalton's law, Boyle's law, Henry's law. Why? We went to the college for studying and we went to the theaters for learning. That is why you did not forget it. Because swimming is a learning. And went to the theater for learning. Came to the college for studying, get good marks, and forget on the next day, which does not have application in your life. Therefore, students, the purpose of you brought to here is for learning. Why? Because you have to increase your value. By you remembering any songs or anything, you could understand what will be the salary of those persons. You could understand after 3 PhD how much salary you will get it and why it is so. So you want to elevate your commercial value, economic value, business value, research value, scientific value. You have to increase your learning potential, not the reading potential, not the studying potential. So therefore, learning is remembering forever. So you might think, sir, how I can remember whatever I studied in my life? Not at all possible. I agree with that. But at least what is important to your own research topic now? What is important? Application of your theorem, principles, laws, Ohm's law, Dalton's law, Henry's law, which is essential for its application. The Henry's law states that the solubility of any gas dissolved in the liquid medium is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas exists above the atmosphere. Equilibrium concentration equal to alpha into P gas. When you have oxygen in your blood, the oxygen solubility is decided based on the partial pressure. The atmosphere contains 21% oxygen. The partial pressure is 0.21. So the Henry's law constant is 43.8. So 43.8 into 0.21 is 9.3 milligram per liter of oxygen only can dissolve in your blood. If it is 9.3% in your blood, the oximeter will show you 100%. If it is less than that, the oximeter will show you 73%, 80% because you had a cough, you had an infection, you had a coronavirus infection. That is why your solubility has not been enhanced to adequate level. So it has come down. What is involved? Henry's law constant is involved. This is an application. Likewise, you take any kind of a research, any kind of system, understand with the basics, understand with the principles. When you do research, do not do it bluntly. Do not do it understanding the concepts, principles, and mechanism, and go to the viva. And you have to describe your result. You must say that what reason you got a maximum value, what reason you got a minimum value. It was attributed to what? So you should be able to give principles, mechanism, theorem, concepts for the result you are going to get in. If you're not able to just you say this is maximum, this is minimum, this is average, oh my thesis is over. Never. You must say why it is maximum, why it is minimum. The maximum is attributed to what? The minimum is attributed to what? The maximum is going to create an impact on what? So you must have the reasoning for all this with the scientific basis on it. If you do not understand what theorem it is going to support your maximum value, or what principle it is going to support your maximum value and the minimum value, you cannot describe your outcome of the PhD thesis. So therefore, connect your research with the principles, theorems, and mechanisms. Do not superficially say I got maximum, I got minimum, I got better value than him, lower value than him, therefore my thesis is okay. Develop your understanding ability. That is why you will become one day a good researcher. That's what I said. What is the difference between reading, studying, and learning? Reading just to entertain yourself temporarily by reading a newspaper. Studying only to score marks. And learning, not forgetting, like driving or swimming. So therefore, because normally it is the common cause with our own children, our own friends, when they go to college, what we say? Hey, nalla padida. Otherwise, what we say? Hey, man, study well, man. Have you ever say your parents told, hey, learn well and come back? This is the society's problem. Now you want, in your plus 2 itself, you want to crack NEET, you want to crack IIT JEE, you should learn well. The parents who send their children for practicing IIT JEE or NEET exam, they will say, hey, learn well. The parents who are practicing their children for going to abroad, hey, learn well. Learn well. That is what it is important to make your brothers, sisters, children, to make learn well. I hope hereafter you will say the society, you will say your own children, not to say padida, padida, padida like that, but hey, learn well. That is going to build you. Katituha. Anything you learn it is going to be your value. It is going to be your asset. You learn driving a car. Per day you can earn thousands, minimum 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. If you learn an aircraft, your salary is going to be huge. If you learn to become a marine driver, your learning is going to be high. So the learning going to be add value into your personality. So please don't learn for the sake of doing the PhD. Please, because PhD degree, when it comes to you, Don't look at the degree, look at your face, how you have been transformed your personality. What was the business value has elevated? What was the research potential value that is elevated? How you could apply your outcome of your research into the society, into the industry, into the public, into the economics era, everything. So therefore, these are the 13 steps. It's like a Bible I keep saying to all my PhD students. These are the important steps. The first step is choose a broad topic. Narrow down and confirm your topic as early as possible within 2 months before your comprehensive viva. Okay, that is, choose your topic. The second step is confirm the list of prominent journals for your research topic. These 13 steps, normally, I've shrinked into 8 steps. In the take-home message, I will ask any one row to tell this 13 message. Any one row to tell the steps in sequence, not in unsequence. So the first step is confirm your broad topic. The second step is confirm the list of prominent journals for your research topic. When you choose the research topic, for example, you become an environmental engineering field. You must choose the AACE Journal of Environmental Engineering. It's a very prominent journal. AACE Journal, American Society of Civil Engineering Journal on Environmental Engineering. Likewise, you got a prominent journals. Please choose that journal well in advance. Ask your supervisor, ask your senior person, senior students, ask your surrounding people, hey, I am doing research in this topic. What are the prominent journals? Can you tell me? So please do not miss out the journals of your topic. Whatever the journals, you must list it out. The third is collect literatures, minimum 50 papers without missing any relevant papers, but without any irrelevant junk. Without missing any relevant papers, but without collecting a junk of papers, which is not relevant to you. So please choose the literatures, collect the literatures. Sorry, the third step is collect the literatures, which is going to really matters for you. And the fourth step, chapter-wise filtration and grouping of your literatures. In your laptop, sir, I got 50 research papers. 5 papers belong to pH. Another 5 papers belong to temperature. Another 5 papers belong to humidity. Another 5 papers belong to acidity. Another 5 papers belong to alkalinity. So in the folder, you create different folders of temperature, pH, acidity, alkalinity, and group these papers belong to which topic. That is your grouping and filtering your literature review. So you must group it and filter it according to the topic. The next is paraphrasing the conclusions from literature chapter wise. You got chapters, say 5 chapters, 10 chapters, for what the parameters you are looking into for your PhD thesis. And those chapters you have already grouped and put your research papers separately. And for example, you take the pH paper, pH folder. Take out all those pH folders. Write the conclusions and important methodologies for each papers within the pH. So you will develop in pH. Van et al. Concluded the optimum pH for a catalyzing reagent or reaction is 4. Next paper, Lin et al. Has concluded the optimum pH for catalysis reaction using a lead or cadmium is pH 5. Win et al. Have concluded, third paper, Win et al. Have concluded the optimum pH was 9. So about pH, who all have conducted, you will get all the informations, which is called paraphrasing the information. Paraphrasing the information. And the next step is, you have written about pH, you have written about temperature, you have written about humidity, 10 papers, you have written about conductivity, 10 papers. Now, you have to critically analyze. who are all have concluded similarity and dissimilarity in research papers. Similarity and dissimilarity in research paper. How many authors have said PH3 was optimum? Not only how many authors said PH3 was optimum. You should find out what reason they said PH3 was optimum. What principles they said PH3 was optimum. What mechanism they said the PH3 was optimum. So likewise, conductivity. In your research, you have your own topic. I'm just giving an example. So likewise, write about critical review of literatures together with summary table. So you have to prepare a summary table. I will show you later how the summary table is. So PH, left side authors and a year. First author concluded PH3. Second author concluded PH9 was optimum. Third author concluded PH10 was optimum. Fourth author concluded PH3 was optimum. Fifth author concluded PH3 was optimum. Sixth author concluded PH3 was optimum. Therefore, 3 authors have got a similar result. Then you must be curious to look what reason they got similar result of 3 authors, only emphasizing PH3 as optimum for the maximum production of something. Then you must understand what principles, what mechanism that he has quoted. So you have to grab that mechanism of it. And then you will have a pH table, and next is temperature, next is humidity, next is conductivity. So all parameters, whatever you are looking into, will come in the big scenario like a chart. Authors, 50 authors, pH, temperature, conductivity, all you will get it as a big scenario. Then the next step is, based on the table, you have to find the research gap. What is the research gap? Who did not attempt which pH? What is the research? So if you look at the table of 50 authors, if it's a really a good papers, you will find out, oh, pH 11, nobody has conducted experiment. Oh, temperature 14, nobody has conducted at the temperature 14. Oh, conductivity, this parameter, nobody has conducted at this value. That becomes your research gap. Because you have got 50 research papers. That becomes a non-plagiaristic research gap. I would say non-plagiaristic because you made 50 papers output or outcome, you put it in your table. And you are comparing the 50 authors' work. And nowhere you will find, out of the 50 authors that you have referred, nobody has attempted and nobody has experimented at a temperature of 40 in a catalytic reaction. But my particular chemical will always lead to the 40 temperature, which I am thinking of. That will make me increased productivity. So therefore, why not I do that experiment? So before you do an experiment, you must confirm what mechanism, what principles, what reasons somebody has quoted many people of the same temperature or same parameter. So that is how finding the research gap, find, evaluate and confirm the gap in research as your original non-plagiaristic, non-obvious research topic. So that is step number 7. Step number 7. So you must remember the steps. After the take-home message, I will pinpoint anybody. Please say step number 7. Please say step 5. Please say step 1. Please say step 12, like that. Okay. So please remember. So finding, evaluating and confirming the research gap is very important. And you must process it in a sequence. You should not jump first into third, third into seventh, not like that. So you found a research gap. Now you have to confirm your research gap with series of presentations within your research group. With lot of evidence of literature published already. Before you come to a comprehensive first year Viva, you must confirm it at any cost, a non-plagiaristic research topic. You might ask me, sir, after 3 years, I sent my PhD thesis to a foreign examiner. He said, 20 years back, my PhD student have done the same topic. What will happen to you? Whose fault? It is your fault or guide's fault? it is your fault. Guide is a facilitator. Please learn it. There cannot be any spoon feeding. That is why I said initially the PhD should be taken by the merit of the scholar, not to be given by the mercy of the supervisor. You should take on your merit. And every problem of the mistake, yes, of course, a good guide will teach you about how to conduct, will facilitate all the methodologies, experiments, calibration, validation methods, everything. So therefore, you must confirm your non-plagiaristic, reproducible, non-duplicated research topic before you finish your comprehensive viva. Okay? So after you confirm it, the next step is, sir, I got the gap. You have to conceptualize the gap. From the research gap, that's the gap is there. PH 11, nobody has attempted. That is the gap. But you have to develop your own concept. If you attempt on the PH 11, what will happen? What is going to happen? What is that you are going to transform? What is that you are going to increase? That becomes your concept. Sir, if I conduct PH 7 at this temperature, at this conductivity, I am going to increase the production of a product manifold. That is your concept. Okay? So after you are finding the research gap, you have to conceptualize your research gap. After you conceptualize your research gap, you have to develop your own hypothesis. Your own research hypothesis. What is your own research hypothesis? Malati's research hypothesis is this. C.V. Raman's research hypothesis is this. So you will decide your hypothesis. So what is the difference between conceptualization and hypothesizing the research gap? While you conceptualize, you will say, this temperature I am going to conduct experiment. This pH I am going to conduct experiment. But when you say hypothesis, this pH has got close to isoelectric point of this, and that isoelectric point will change at this temperature. By doing so, the solubility product will change from this to here. Therefore, my product will increase. That is called a hypothesis. So you must understand what is called a concept and hypothesis. You have a concept and you have to hypothesize it. Develop your own hypothesis. Raman effect. Because when the hypothesis is developed for your PhD, your thesis title, your RNA, DNA, when you do it in molecular microbiology, your name will come in front of your species. SRP. Your name is, somebody is doing molecular microbiology, they find out some organisms which is favoring into the production of something. So their species identification, their name will come. So likewise, C.V. Raman effect, Einstein theorem. Likewise, when you prove your hypothesis, that hypothesis is become yours. Sir, in Chennai, in December, the rain is not due to the wind movement. The rain is due to the sea breeze, sea vapors comes inside and which get to the hot wave, get condensed, and a temporary rain comes for half an hour, 1 hour, which is not a southwesterly monsoon. That's your concept. But you have to prove it. You have to hypothesize it. That's an illusioned hypothesis. I don't know. I have not researched it. But you have to confirm it as your own hypothesis, and you should be able to plan for an experiment of your hypothesis. So the next step after hypothesis, after finding your hypothesis, experimenting your research hypothesis. Find a research gap, conceptualize the research gap, hypothesize the concept, experiment your hypothesis. The next step is experimenting your hypothesis. After you experiment it, you have to do data analysis, you have to do interpretation, you have to do simulations, you have to do modeling. So many works you will do to justify your hypothesis is correct. What you figured out at the beginning while deciding your experiment, and that hypothesis you must be able to prove it. Even if you don't prove it, doesn't matter. It's not necessarily you have to prove it positively. You can prove it negatively. Yes, it will not happen at any cost. That also becomes a research outcome for your future researchers, so that they will not conduct unpredictable research on this topic. So do not worry about, sir, I did not get a positive result. But what is important? Your negative result also should be publishable. You got a positive, your hypothesis become positive. Yes, increases your productivity, increases your value, everything. But sir, my hypothesis did not attempt to completely yield the best product, but it was minimum. But I published 3 papers out of that minimum. And this will not yield because of this hindrance, because of this inhibition, because of this reason. Therefore, somebody else will not undertake the same research. Therefore, you don't worry about it. You did not get the result. But if you get a positive result, that is where your product value will increase. But while you're planning your experiment itself, you must plan it in such a way how you can perform research to increase your product value. That is what in statistical, in error bar, in ANOVA, in variance, in test of series, you will do a lot of statistical analysis while planning your experiment. If I do this experiment, will I able to succeed in getting a good product? Because ultimately, your product value, because you may be a pharmacokinetic researcher. Sir, I am developing a drugs from the neem leaf. Sir, I am developing a herbal drugs from the neem leaf. So, which will extract this leaf into such a product, and the product will cure the cancer. But you have to substantiate whether does it really cure it, does it really make it. So, you need to have a positive result so far, which in case if that alone does not go into cure a cancer or something, you might add additive, catalyst. You must find what could you add to increase your product. Ultimately, your value as a researcher need to be increased. You can straight away go through it. I did this herbal, I did this, it did not come. Okay, I concluded. That is one kind of doing research. But while planning itself, if it doesn't come, what will I add to get it high yield? Because when you do that kind only, your personality, your product value, your commercial value, you as a good scientist, you as a good researcher will increase after your PhD. So therefore, you must plan well to get a positive result. My intention of saying is that because your personality has to increase by getting a positive result. Okay, so prove your hypothesis. Afterwards, address and hold this as your own research hypothesis. You can write in your title itself. You can write your title for Sneha hypothesis. In your title itself, you can put your name. Because like Raman effect, like a important thing, you can bring your own topic also like that once you are able to prove your hypothesis and add your hypothesis with the existing knowledge domain in your area. Let your PhD students research it after 5 years or 10 years when you take up your PhD student. That is what is called research. Okay, and then finally, title your name on your proven hypothesis. Title your name. You got a molecular microbiology, you have increased the functional genomics or metabolomics of a particular organism, and you found out what gene is responsible for it, and you are tuning with an activator or promoter, you are increasing the biogas yield or hydrogen yield or biofuel yield from the solid waste, and that becomes the organisms and the names of understanding the metagenomics becomes your own name. I'm just giving an example. It can be in economics also. You can do cost benefit analysis of a business management. You can develop this strategy only could get a better yield in the WTO, in the stock market. So if you're really an economist, you have to add your own hypothesis to bring it out. I hope so. This will be remembered like a Bible all these 13 steps. I want all the researchers, please be remembered, even in the any time when they ask you what is your 7th step, what is your 9th step, till you complete your PhD, even afterwards, you should never forget it, because this is the logical sequential steps that you are supposed to adopt. So, type of research. You have a basic research, you have applied research, and you got a theoretical research. So now itself you can decide how many of you are into basic research, how many of you are into applied research, how many of you are in theoretical research. So the basic research is proving or disproving an existing hypothesis, law, or principle. Sir, I'm disproving Henry's law constant will not be applicable to the solubility of oxygen in the blood because so reason. That is what you do, a basic research connecting your hypothesis. But the hypothesis should not be of your own hypothesis. It should be a standard principle, standards law, standard mechanism. And that is why it's the basic research. So basic research paper you can publish in Nature journal. And you have to decide what type of a researcher you are going to be today onwards. Sir, am I a basic researcher? Sir, am I an applied researcher? Or am I a theoretical researcher? So in applied research, apply your research outcomes for industrial or commercial value, or societal value, or economic value. So that's called applied research. It can be a design patent. So in applied research, you can patent it. Okay? How many of you honestly plan, sir, before I complete my PhD, I should have minimum 1 patent? You know what is patent? How many of you know what is patent? Please raise your hands. Okay. How many of you published papers already in this group? How many of you, sir, I have 1 or 2 papers published already? Just raise honestly. Okay. So, how many of you patented already? Sir, I have a patent. Very good. Oh, you worked for a patenting office. Oh, we're in writing a patent. Okay, okay. Very good, very good. So, sir, is it possible to have a patent in the PhD program? Yes, it is possible. There is no dearth of it. If you plan well, you can definitely patent. If you are a patent holder, you got a commercial value. And your value, you can demand money like anything if you have patent. So, the next is simulation modeling and bioinformatics, economic study of it. So, that is called theoretical research. So, where do you want to end up? So, but ultimately, why I brought all these 3 here? Because when I was in Leeds University, the simple question they asked me in the first 1 month itself, can you tell your topic in 3 words? Can you tell your PhD topic in 3 words? The same question they will ask at the time of your PhD viva also. Can you tell your PhD thesis in 1 word or 2 word or maximum 3 word? How many of you already decided the topic? Please raise your hands. How many of you decided your topic? Okay. So those who have decided, how many of you passed 1 year, or anybody is here like that? Like Soundari Nagima? How many of them, or anybody who more than 1 year? New batch only. You are 1 year? Okay, you completed 1 year. Okay. Anyhow, my humble request to the Center for Research will classify this research methodology workshop for a 2nd and 3rd year students on how to write PhD thesis, how to make a patent, how to identify technology readiness level of a subject for 2nd and 3rd year students. At least a 1-day program. So I request the people, because that will help people to encourage how to write, how to skeleton your thesis, writing research papers. So at least in the 2nd year level, I will request your Vice Chancellor, your people, and to personally to Madam Soundari Nagi to have it. So what is Simulation modeling and bioinformatics. So in this, how many of you say, who is your end user of your research outcome? Sir, I have completed my PhD. Who is going to use your thesis? It's going to be in library? Sir, all my future research students will read. Yes, they will read. How many of them will use it for a commercial product? How many of them will use it to gain a better industrial product outcome of it? So, have you decided yourself who is going to be your end user? Please plan today itself who is going to be your end user and what value the end user is going to get. 1 rupee, 10 rupee, million rupee, 1000 rupee, what value they are going to get out of your outcome. So that is also very important, because normally when we write PhD thesis, you know how many lines we write the topic? How many lines normally? 3 lines, 3 lines, sometimes 4 lines, sometimes 5 lines in the first page. Am I right? We do it for 3 years or 4 years. You know, the movie makers, they also take movie for 3 years, 4 years. How they coin the title of their movie? How many lines? 5 lines, 6 lines, 7 lines, 1 word, 2 word. After 4 years of the movie they take, how many lines they keep? Title of the movie, Padikadavan, only 1 word. Nature Internali, only 3 words. Never be 4 lines, 5 lines in the thesis. So, it is easy to be complicated, but difficult to be simplified. That is the concept. It is easy to write a complicated sentence, but difficult to write simple sentence. So, learn to write, simplify it. Because what you do, the society has to understand. What you do, the future generation have to understand. You might use a complicated sentence. You might use a very varying sentence. How does it matter? Unless until somebody is not able to understand it. So try to simplify your research. Develop clarity on your research. Develop productivity on your research. And develop the end user of your research. Try to shorten your title as simple as possible. But, and the 3 word itself, even my viva at my PhD thesis at Leeds University, the main examiner asked me, can you tell your PhD thesis in 3 words? I said, yes, I can. I said, waste into wheel. Waste into wheel? Can you define it? I said, yes, I take a waste, I produce a biogas, I produce a biodiesel, and the biodiesel is going to be fed into the cars and buses, which is going to operate the wheels. So therefore, waste into wheel, I said to my examiner. He was so happy. Oh, good concept. He said, waste into wheel. Likewise, some acronyms you have to develop in your PhD thesis, some kind of acronyms. That will help you after you finish your PhD. So please remember, applied research will lead to technology readiness level. I do not discourage not to do this. I do not discourage not to do this. But today's focus that I am going to make a presentation is only on this. But why? Because it is you have to decide whether you need to do this or you need to do this. It's a theoretical research, simulation, all this. And that is also is a very basic research needed. You might replace some Nobel laureates after some time by doing this. All of it has same value. There is not much difference. But how you are going to contribute and how you are going to make up it, that it is going to be a matter. So therefore, decide yourself. What do you want to do? You want to go in the center? You want to go in this? You want to go in there? Because last year I covered much in this. And this year I'm trying to cover much in this. I plan to cover next year much in this. And like a cycle, I'm trying to cover every year some important significance I'm trying to give. But I will also cover this later part of it, but predominantly technology readiness level in terms of applied research. So if you go for applied research, some of your outcome can be applied into textile industry, tanning industry, pharmacological industry, paper and pulp, sugar industry. Somewhere it is applicable. It could be an economic research. It could be a biotechnology research, it could be a mechanical engineering design research, it could be a EC electronics and communication research, it could be a brain research, but application to human being, application to society. And today's successes are, as Professor Veldra said in the morning, when you finish your abstract at the end of it, which has at the end of your abstract, if you could say which has the prime applications in human life saving, your conclusion of your thesis, which has a prime application in transforming the industrial methanol yield, product yield, like that, if you say, you are attracted more. So therefore, think of it how and what kind of a research. So technology readiness level. What is technology readiness level? Technology readiness level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So when you do a basic principles observed and reported of your research, that is called technology readiness level 1. When you go to technology readiness level, the technology concept and application to be formulated. The first one is concept, creating a concept. The second one is applying the concept and finding it what problem it is going to solve. That is your second. And the third technology readiness level is proof of concept. So if you have a concept, you need to prove it. So if somebody says, sir, I have done my PhD up to TRL level 3, that means you have to understand he has made a proof of concept. That's all. If somebody says he has done technology readiness level up to 3, that means he made a proof of concept confirmed. And the technology readiness level 4. So the proof of concept have to be validated and calibrated in the conditioned lab environment. It could be lab environment or it could be elsewhere. That is why calibration and validation of the components you are proving it is called TRL level 5, technology readiness level 5. So technology readiness level 6, system prototype demonstration in an operational environment. Sir, I have decided the catalyst of 10 gram of a lead at a pH of 11 at a temperature of 16 favored my lab research. You have to develop a small prototype. The proof of concept, you have proved it. Sir, this is increasing the maximum product. But once you proved it in the proof of concept, and once you calibrated and validated also, you must develop a prototype. You must develop a prototype. And that prototype can be small, can be bigger. So that prototype should confirm your calibrated product yield, should confirm your proof of concept, should confirm your basic mechanism and principles in the prototype. Sir, in the prototype, I need to have a temperature control by putting a coil rounding the reactors. A thermoregulated reactor at 45 degrees centigrade. A pH controlled reactor, automatic pH controlled reactor. So the conditions what you are going to conduct an experiment, it could be in the society also, it could be in the social studies also. The conditions that you are going to have, you must have a prototype. That prototype is technology readiness level 6. Sir, I got the prototype. I confirmed it. Whatever I got the efficiency of the product yield in lab, which was 90%. I calibrated, validated, which was 86%. I brought into a prototype, which was 87%. So all these were above 80. And now I am permitted to go as a big scale reactor. That is the system or subsystem in an operational environment. Whatever the native environment, whatever the native situations, external situations, and that conditions you will scale it up which is called technology readiness level 7, which is an operational environment. And then you will actually complete and qualify through a demonstration scale. That is called developing a pilot plant. Sir, I have developed a pilot plant. I put it into this industry. The industry is running now. Whatever I did research in the lab, whatever I calibrated, whatever I made proof of concept, with that I developed a prototype. With that I understood what efficiency it was working. With that I developed a pilot plant. So pilot plant in the industry, and that is your level 8. And level 9 will be commercial scale of the size of this room, or a large scale production, commercial scale production. That becomes TRL level 9. Sir, can I finish all my PhD work up to TRL level 5, TRL level 4, TRL level 3, TRL level 5? Sir, is it possible for me to reach to that stage? Yes, it is. If you plan well, but I don't insist you to make it, but if you at least develop a proof of concept and develop a prototype, which is more than enough to fetch you a value, because you got a prototype, the prototype can be patented. The proof of concept can be patented. So because you got a patented prototype on your name, you only know that engineering configuration, conditions that it can be operated, conditions that it has been calibrated. You only know that that becomes an intellectual property of your own, having sustainability, reliability, and credibility of your research. Sustainability, reliability, and credibility of your research as a product. You got the product as a prototype. And after your PhD, you can make it commercial, you can make it bigger, you can make it scale it up. That is going to fetch you a career for many more years in your life. Many more years, because in the same field you can widen it, you can widen it, you can widen it, because it is not about you develop a very high valued product, but it is about how do you develop a methodical methodology in formulating your concept, formulating your hypothesis, formulating your own proof of concept, formulating, calibrating the proof of concept, and developing a prototype. What kind of a approach and methodology you are going to develop? For example, medical students or engineering students, when you study it, you are not going to have such a high valued, commercial valued product within the next 3 years or 4 years. It is a training for you in your PhD stage. What is TRL level 5? What is TRL level 6? What is TRL level 3? How you can compare your research outcome at the end of your PhD, whether you have reached the TRL level 3 or 2 or 4 or 5, what it is. This is the training you will be. But some exceptional students will be able to come in 3rd year, sir, I developed a prototype. And he knows, as a part of the PhD, if he could demonstrate it in TRL level 6 or 7, he's going to earn millions of money. So he will extend his PhD until reaching to TRL level 7. Then he confirm it, go as a $1 million PhD thesis outward. How do you want to do it? How do you want to enrich your PhD into a entrepreneurial outcome? Startup company opening outcome. That is what the TRL level 9 is. If you have any doubt, I'll be having around 5 minutes of break with the take-home message. And initially, I will address all of you. If you have any doubt in this, you can ask. Afterwards, we'll have a random answering of everybody very quickly. If you do not know, please don't wait. Okay, just you can say pass, but do not waste our time. I just want all of you to have water or something in 5 minutes. And after this session, then you can come back at 12:55 exactly, and then I'll be taking somewhere around 1:30. I'll be able to finish it off. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Initially, I'll be able to take only 3 questions. I do not want to take more questions, either in the technology readiness level or in anything else what I taught. You can take only 2 minutes. You can give me some questions, please. Can you? Mike, enamma? 100%. Don't have to worry. I will give you the presentations. You all have to grow. You all have to cherish. You all have to come in the future. I will definitely give it. Don't worry. Okay. Anybody have a question? 3 questions. Please give the mic to them, the organizers. Anybody? 3 questions on what we have taught. Please come quick. If not, I will just skip it off. Not asking question is not understood anything, or sir, I am silent. In your research, when you come into your research after master degree, never be silent. Be participative, be active, and you should be active person in your research. Then only your searchability will become faster. Anybody, please, quick. Yeah, quick.
I'm Viridran. So I'm doing my research in the field of natural language processing in AI. So you mentioned technology readiness level as a concept of conceptualizing your research and outcoming it to become an applicable value in the society or in the market, let it be anywhere. So in the field of AI, which I am in, so this technology focus is shifting in every 2 years or in 1.5 years. So how do we make sure the concept which we are choosing is up to the end product which we are going to do at level 9?
Okay, using AI?
Yeah, using AI. Man.
Using it. Good, excellent, good question. It's when the AI comes, AI is going to tune your concept or suppress your concept or activate your concept. What for you are going to use the AI? It depends how you use it. I have a sword, but I have 2 sides. One side is sharp, another side is blunt. The another side also will open something, but it will have a positive. But the other side will have a negative. So what I mean to say, when you use AI, it's a very attractive tool. AI, ML, machine learning or deep learning or cloud computing or IoT. You use any of this. But our basic science never change it. Basic concepts never change it. If I can get a product at a pH of 7 based on the chemical equilibrium or something, or if I can do a research in image processing with the lossless and lossful image transformation of a MRI scan using a microprocessor software and standardizing and coding that product and using the AI to transform it into a phone, when the MRI scan comes out, the phone will take a picture, the phone will have an AI, the picture will be standardized along with the standard MRI and a defected MRI. It will tell you exactly the phone, oh, this has so much defect based on the standard. The AI is intercepted here, but the AI has not intercepted into the microprocessor, transformation of the signals, digitization of the signals, pixel of the signals, accuracy and perfection of the transformation of that image pixels into a standardizable, codable image. There it did not make an intervention. So when you apply it, your basic structure is same. Your translational research is intervened by AI. Hope I have answered you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Can I just go with what you answered, sir?
Pardon?
Can I just go ahead with what you answered? I have one more question, sir.
Yeah. You have a AI.
Yeah.
The AI has got intervention into the running activity. The AI, it can tune the basic structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, anywhere. But the basic structure, principles, theorems, concepts are well defined for a researcher. Afterwards, for example, I'm taking an image of an MRI image or an X-ray image. The image, instead of visually I'm reading, I'm not able to define what is the defect of an individual or a person. I'm using the AI. But here, the image need to be transformed into a standard picture and a defected picture, which is done through the microprocessor. In this case, the AI can make an intervention. This intervention is to study the basic principles and concepts, not to change the basic principles and concepts. So therefore, it is a translational activity, intervention, interception it is made by AI, but not the basic tools are changed.
Got it, sir.
You got? So therefore, when you use the AI, cloud computing or machine learning or IoT, Internet of Things or anything, it is not going to change the basic structure, basic science and basic principles. So you don't need to worry about it. Good. Yeah, anybody else? Come on, good, ask. Come out, provoke your mind to think. So if not, I'll take the questions very randomly, very fast. I'll start from here. So it will run quickly. What is the one take-home message you will say? Quickly. You can say it. Simply say, if you know, pass it, because I have to cross everybody to recollect. Yes.
The point which the total the traditional way of the approach of a research. So these things can be applicable in the research. So how the way I can think about that and how we can apply into that and how the things combinedly to take out the outcome of the research.
Okay.
This is what I have.
Okay. Next. Change it. Please have a crisp one-word reply. One word or two-word reply. Please, not to have more. Yes, quickly. Sir, this was impressive for me. That's all. Yes.
So the session was very impressive.
No, session was impressive. I don't want to hear. Not to waste using more words. Sir, this was impressive. That's all. One word. That's what I'm trying to activate you. Simplify and be active and fast. Yes, one word.
So the TRL was very impressive.
TRL was impressive.
Yes.
Yes, please. Next. In TRL, which was impressive more?
So concept up to the commercialization of the product.
Which is TRL 2 or 3 or 4?
Up to 9, sir. The 9th was very impressive.
Fine.
Yes.
Fine. Yeah, next please.
Research for a purpose.
Research got a purpose.
Purpose.
Okay, next please. You have to learn, not to study. Okay. Take this message. We have to learn in research, not to study, not to mug up.
Hello,
Thanks,
sir.
good message. Next please.
Our research outcomes should be reusable and reproduced. It should not be.
Reproducible outcome, yieldable.
Yes.
And
And
yes.
it should not stop with us.
Thank you. Next please. Quick.
And the four things, sir: focus, feel, understand, and demonstrate.
Very good. Parthaal, unardal, aridal, vilakkudal. Very good. Excellent. Good. Next.
Increase our retention power.
Pardon?
Increase our retention power.
Increase your retention potential of what you studied. Excellent. Please. Next.
Research methodologies.
Research methodology is the title of this written on the first.
Sir.
What is that you learned today? Yeah, next please. Afterwards, no problem.
Sir, who will use your research at end product?
Who will?
Use your research.
Who will use your research and who is the end user?
Who is the end user?
One word. That's what coined the word. One word, sir. I like the end user word. That's all. Yeah, next please.
Sir, research work can be commercializable.
Yes, research can be commercially made available. Yes, next please.
How to apply your research?
How to?
Apply your research.
How to apply? That's a very broad topic. Simplify it still. Yeah, okay, next please.
Learn to simplify, develop clarity, and develop who's your end user.
Develop clarity and?
Develop who's your end user.
Okay, because you are already repeating end user. 2-3 people have said not to repeat any words. Please, next.
Research should be understandable by all of them.
Research should be understandable by?
All of them.
Huh?
All of them.
All of them, okay. Please remember, I am going to ask the 13 steps in any one of the row. You must remember those 13 steps, please. Next, please.
Confirm the list. Prominent list.
Confirm the prominent journals for your research. Is it?
Yes.
Okay, give. Next. Come on, fast.
The spine of research is to have an ideology or principle backside.
Very good. Every research have to have ideology and principles on the backside. Next, please.
Learning is going to add personality into one's life and
Learning
who we
is
are.
going to add personality, not studying alone, not reading alone. Good point.
Hypothesis is our research gap.
Hypothesis and research gap. Okay.
Short and simple titles. Sir.
Short and
Simple title.
simple
Title for your
title.
research.
Short and simple title, like movie titles, not to have so big titles. Excellent.
Literature review in summary.
Literature review summary table, is it?
Yes, sir.
Where to find the gap in
Yes,
research.
sir.
Next, please. Okay, go ahead. Quick.
Outcome of your research defines you.
Outcome of your research?
Defines you.
Yeah, outcome of your research defines you what kind of personality you are. Next, please.
It should be shrewd, sharp, fast.
Very
and
good. I was
perfect.
expecting something when you say Parthal, Unardal, Aridal, Vilakidal, you should develop an attitude of shrewd enough, sharp enough, fast enough, and perfect enough. Next, please.
Prepare your research in 3 words: initial stage and final stage and the difference.
Okay, didn't understand. Okay, next, please.
Narrow down the research to a topic before 2 months the complete.
Very good. Narrow down your topic. Do not have an ambiguous topic. Narrow down as quickly as possible. Excellent. Yeah, next, please.
Find relevant research in your area.
Fine.
Relevant research in your area.
Can you get relevant research? Okay, next. Quickly.
We should keep constant interest in what we have learned.
Okay, next, please.
You have enlightened me to have what kind of research we are doing: basic, theoretical, or
Beautiful.
applied.
Basic research, theoretical research, or applied research. You decide now itself what are you going to do. Excellent.
Yeah, that's awesome for me.
Awesome. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for a great presentation. I am working on my waste to wheels concept for my project.
Okay, waste into wealth, waste into will. Okay, very good.
Apply your research outcomes for industrial commercial.
Apply
Your research outcomes for industrial.
your research outcome for industrial commercialization at least after 5 years of PhD or 2 years or 3 years, depends on your strength. Thank you. Next.
Find out the research gap and experiment your own research hypothesis.
Yeah, find out your research gap and develop your own hypothesis. So after gap, directly hypothesis will come or something is there in between. Conceptualization is there.
Conceptualization.
You have left that.
Yes.
Yeah, after research gap, finding the research gap, you have to conceptualize before you go to develop a hypothesis. Yes, please.
Detect your end user, develop your product by research, and implement to the societal front.
Okay, very good. Okay, next, please. Next. Not too many words, short words. There are so many are here.
Applied research and it can get you IP in, for this.
Applied research can get you a good job. That's it. Yeah, next, please.
Increasing the interest level of relevant research.
Increase your interest level into your relevant research. Beautiful. Next, please. Yeah.
Negative results can also be
Negative results is also a research if it is published. Please bear in mind, negative results should be published. Yes, next, please.
Keep constant interest on your research, what you are
Somebody has already said. Next, please.
Sir, thinking about the values which
Thinking about the values of your personality by being a researcher.
and not only that, sir, but about the results which we got through the experiments. About
Yeah,
why
through the experiment, what results you are going to get, the result is going to add what kind of personality you are. Next, please. Quick.
Title your name to prove your hypothesis.
Title your name on your top of your PhD thesis or your theorem that you are going to change it. Beautiful, good message. Next, please. Yeah, if not, pass it. Yeah.
Researchable problem.
Research?
Researchable problem and answerable question.
Okay, researchable problems as well as questions. Okay.
Excuse me, sir, we are a foreign research scholar.
Yeah.
We want to now new scientific research and also take this experience to our countries.
Okay. Yeah,
That's-
I do have scholars from Ethiopia, scholars from Nigeria. There are many other.
Especially you go to Leeds and
Yeah, we know how to,
yeah.
what kind of
yeah.
take home message, not a take home message.
From UK to India. Also, we want to move this experience to our countries in Middle East.
You have to work on it. When
Yeah.
you plan your experiment, design your experiment, you have to design based on how you are going to apply back to your country.
Yes, that's
So if you just like that randomly do it, and if it is applicable only to India, when you go back, you will not be able to.
Yes,
Because
yes.
this is the reason I've been a Commonwealth scholar for doing my PhD. In the interview process of a Commonwealth scholar, the first question is described how you are going to do research there similar to the conditions of India. How your outcome is going to come back and what money value you are going to increase, what Indian economy you are going to increase when you come back. So that is the kind of things normally for researchers it has been expected, because that is an experience for me when I went to England to do my PhD. Don't worry. Very good interest. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. Please start. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, okay. You are there. Quick, quick, quick.
Actually, I got knowledge from proof of concept. Actually, I don't know about that, but you explained very clearly
Proof
in
of
proof of
concept.
concept.
Proof
So,
of concept, TRL level?
TRA level,
Three.
prototyping.
Yes. Proof of concept at TRL level 3. Yes.
Yes,
Next,
thanks.
please.
Sir, how to approach our research, recognize, review, research.
Oh, re-promotion, redo it, recognition, the RE is added. Okay, so when you add RE, because that is what is called linguistic relativity. What is called linguistic relativity? You know, I compared it normally. You know, in Tamil, we say Kandan, Kupan, Chandran, Murugan, all these names end with N. Am I right? In Prabhakar, Chandrasekhar, all the R also end with masculine. So N and R are end with masculine. Am I right? In English, carpenter, driver, all are end with R, masculine name. Driver, chairman, policeman, watchman, all are end with N. So in English, N and R are masculine. In Tamil, Chandran, Chandrasekhar, Prabhakar, Kupan, Murugan, Supan, N and R are masculine. Am I right? Who followed whom when they designed the language? Who followed? English followed Tamil or Tamil followed English? Sir, every R and N should end with masculine. Every R and N names ending are masculine. Who followed? So there was a scientific linguistic relativity. So everything is science, language has got a relativity. Science has got a relativity. There is no barrier in that. So you can develop relativity. I can say so many words like that in English and Tamil. In Sanskrit and Tamil, you know very well. Many words are related. So likewise, relativity analysis in research is very important. Whether it is a language research or basic research or applied research, make relativity understanding. Yes.
To list down prominent journals before initiating.
Find out, confirm the list of prominent journals before you start. Next, please. கொஞ்சம் faster பண்ணுங்க, quick.
Though it is repeated, so I, based on your, session, what I could still understood is choose the type of research.
Yeah.
The three types of research. So that is provoked me to choose between those three types. That is one thing which I consider as a takeaway for this from the session, sir. The type of research, the basic, the applied, so theoretical. So I would like to know, go more into it and then choose between those. So
Which
that
type? Theoretical.
The types of research.
Further.
Yeah. No, I mean, this
Applied.
is what it provoked from this session is what I'm saying.
Okay, okay. So the flow of this applied research, basic research and theoretical research, you have to decide when you are doing it. That's the flow. You got it. Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry to disappoint all of you, and I need to complete quite a lot of things for you now. Let me finish it in another 30 minutes. Let us proceed faster. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll finish now?
Yes, sir.
Another 30 minutes. I'll finish it off. I have a session on last day. 17th. I have a session on 17th. I will continue from here on 17th, because 17th my session is about how you can apply international fellowships when you are doing your PhD. International, national fellowships also. So what are the PhD opportunities, fellowship opportunities that you have to go to USA through a Fulbright fellowship as a PhD scholar? What are the fellowship opportunities are available internationally as well as nationally? I'm going to take on that day session. I hope organizers have made me to stop here and then to continue on the 17th of last day. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience. And thank you to the organizers, Dr. Kumaresan sir and madam, everybody. Thank you very much for having me here. Thanks a lot.